What did I just watch? Chapter 12 of Legion, the fourth episode of season 2. I had my theories about Sid's chattering state of mind, essentially. So the entire episode was kind of David figuring that out and kind of figuring it out with the audience. And then at the very end, Lenny shows up and says essentially like is being held by the guards or whatever, and David and Sid come out of the room and she's there, and she's essentially held captive and or held restraint, and she's like, I'm back. What? Well, that made the episode better. So we knew a little bit about Sid prior in season 1. She mentioned to David once before, I believe it was David, I don't know that she had this conversation with anyone else, that she pretty much swapped bodies with her mother and then had relations in the shower while she was her mother, and that kind of exploded. Okay, well, we got to see kind of that. However, there is one scene that I wanted them to go back to. They didn't, so maybe they will in the future, but of her laying in a what looks like to be a hospital bed or an asylum bed or something, and her arms are restrained down and her mother's sitting off to the side, essentially looking distraught, and Sid is asleep. So where does that come into play? Like, I kind of had this thought that she went to the club and she kept bumping into bodies, and then, because you do see that, and then you see her in the hospital bed, I half expected it to be, okay, she's in a coma now, but she's like harming herself or something, and then, or maybe she passed out, I don't know why she's restrained, and then she's in the bed. We don't touch upon that anymore. So I was kind of curious to see about that. I do have to note, since there was a lot of repetitiveness in this episode, it kind of felt like a little bit of a filler episode, just a little bit. I mean, we got to see more of Sid's background, essentially, a little bit anyway, that we didn't already know, and kind of. I'm still not a fan of her. I want her to be like tough and be like, okay, we can get through this, David, but now I'm gonna be like this heartless bitch. Like, I kind of wanted that, not oh, okay, I love you, let's you get me now, we both had a dark past and now we're gonna continue on because love conquers all, but not really. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, she's in this loop. Oh, the loop. So she's in this loop, and so after, pretty much we get halfway through the episode, and the loops are going and going. I mean, it's not like loop. It's here's this, and then, oh look, here's another view of this, and then there's this, and then David shows up, and Sid in every single scene is looking at David as a baby, as an infant, as a teenager. Like, every time he's there, she's looking at him. So, and then the fact that she can essentially control what she says, and it's not on a repetitive loop, like Melody was, or, well, Melody necessarily wasn't on a loop, but I don't know, that was a maze. I guess that's different, but Potatomy had no idea who he was, so I guess it depends. I guess it really depends who it is. But so I had this thought while they're doing the loops, and I'm like, okay, this was probably fun to shoot, because it was, okay, we're gonna do right here, do the scene, okay, and let's do it again, but I'm gonna go over here, and we're gonna do the scene, and okay, let's flop it, and I'm gonna be on the other side of you while we're doing the scene. And then, like, all of them. So the igloo, and when she's in the museum, the multiple times when she's in the museum, and I did have to laugh a couple times. So you have the couple who are essentially slowly making out on this bench in the museum, and Sid is just kind of standing off to the side, just watching, and then David shows up, and he's talking to Sid, but like talking around the couple who's making out, and like in my head I'm having this vision of, after so long, the couple's probably like laughing hysterically because like they're supposed to just be like a figment, but they can't because you're kissing people and other people are talking around you, and I don't know, I think it just calls for a blooper essentially. Okay, so there's that. Like I said, I felt a little bit of a filler. It's kind of interesting, and I guess it kind of makes sense that okay, so Carrie is inside of Carrie trying to wake up Carrie, and we cut back to them, and she kind of wakes up and then pulls Carrie out of her, and then Clark runs down the hall, and they're like, oh, we woke up. Yes, so did everybody else. Oh? But then, okay, so David and Sid don't essentially wake up yet. They're still figuring out whatever. But then when they finally do wake up after the daydreamy kind of look at each other, they realize there's problems, and the guards are running down the hall, and they come out in the hall, and they're running in the hall as well. Well, okay, so there's a time frame between when they wake up and when everybody else wakes up. Reverse that. When everybody else wakes up and when they wake up. That, okay, does that mean that Lenny happened to show up on site and then stuff happened and then they wake up and then she gets captured and then they see her? Okay. Let's assuming that's the case. What I want to know is, okay, she has her old body back, and does that mean that the Shadow King is inside her head? Does that mean Oliver is inside her head? Considering the very first episode of the season, it was Lenny and Oliver inside of the Shadow King's head, which is inside of Oliver's head. So, Lenny essentially begged the Shadow King, hey, I want my body back. I want a body back. I want a whatever. She doesn't look as disheveled as she did in season 1, but then again, she was also a figment. She ended up dying, maybe? So her hair is longer as it was in the visions, and obviously perhaps she's no longer a junkie, so maybe she looks normal because of it? I don't know. But in the trailer, you see Oliver, and Oliver is talking to someone that you don't see. So you have, he's having a conversation with someone, but you know that someone's there, but you don't know who it is. And he's in the car and he's driving, and it could be David, it could be Lenny, it could be anyone. I'm glad we're seeing more of Oliver because we haven't seen him in a while. When Lenny comes around, Oliver's usually around, so I guess they go hand in hand a little bit, unless she is gonna help them find the Shadow King's body. I don't really know. I'm interested to see this dynamic, considering she's been a figment in David's mind for, it'd be very interesting to see what happens in the next episode. I'm glad she's back. I'm very excited that she's back. I don't really know what to expect in terms of, what she's doing. And okay, am I back? My webcam is getting choppy and I'm not really sure what's happening and I don't like it. Looks like it froze. Did it freeze? Am I moving? Okay, well, we're gonna find out what happens when I finally stop this video and watch. Oh, look, I'm back. Sort of. Okay, so till the next episode when Lenny is back. Yay! Bye.